Hi and welcome again to my YouTube channel. This is the 10th video that I'm recording, so I'm really excited about this because this is an Ask Me Anything video. I asked you guys on Twitter and LinkedIn to ask me questions and that I'll answer it on my 10th video. I don't know if you guys know this, but I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel throughout 2022 and it took me 10 months to start it, and I started it in October, and this is the 10th video being shot in October, so it's kind of a big deal to me. It also shows how taking the first step is always more difficult, right? In fact, the most difficult, and the journey gets easier once you start. I'm gonna keep looking down at my iPad because, like, I use my phone to record my videos. Yeah, I am not a professional YouTuber with a camera yet, and I probably won't buy one until I have like 25,000 subscribers. That was Ankur Wariku's advice for me. So let's get started. The first question is by Thinking, what is your first side hustle? My first and my only side hustle so far has been writing. Ashi Kaushik says, how to start a solopreneur journey. What are and were the obstacles you faced and how you tackled with them? Starting a solopreneur journey. So a solopreneur is somebody who has a one-person business, and you can start it by just solving for a problem and establishing a business. And the obstacles that I faced were plenty. For instance, like every product that I think will work out might not always work out. So I have learned that it's important to have put a solution forward instead of trying to sell a product that kind of doesn't work. And obviously there are like plenty other obstacles, but I will talk about that in detail soon. Bhargavi Rekha says, how to decide on target audience, how to manage 9 to 5 plus freelance plus content creation and have self time. So I'm going to answer, like, since there are three questions. How to decide on the target audience? I think it depends on what is the content you're writing and who do you think is a fit for your content. The second is how to manage a 9 to 5 plus freelance plus content creation and have self time. So how I went about it when I was in a corporate job was that I only wrote, which was editing before my work and writing after my work. And then I had all the self time on weekends. I hardly worked on weekends. I mean, maybe I'll write a newsletter on a Saturday, but otherwise I never worked on weekends. So that's how I went about it. I think not doing too many things at one time and starting slowly will help, because also once you master one thing, it gets easier for you to finish those tasks and then you can pick up another task. So do not be a writer and a YouTuber at the same time. Only once writing gets easier, pick up another platform or another skill or whatever it is for you. The third part is, how should one build a habit, how to get back on track after not practicing a routine for a while? Create a routine and show up, and then show up every day. So yeah, show up into 10 times and it'll get better from there. Tanish Agarwal asks, how to pick a niche and is it okay if you don't? I think it's 100% okay if you don't pick a niche. Do not confine your creativity even before you start, just because you are so busy trying to think if you have a niche or not and how should you get a niche. I would say just start publishing, and with time, say after 50 to 100 content pieces, you'll figure out what you like talking about more than others. And that doesn't need to be one topic, that could be two topics or three topics, and then just write about that often. So my theory is that let your niche come to you. Ayantika Mukherjee says, how do you decide on topics to write on Medium? Ayantika, honestly, I just write. I haven't really ever had a writer's block, and it hasn't been a struggle to come up with topics. I just always have a lot to say, which is probably why I always have a lot to write. Money and Power Map says, you have all the money in the world and your materialistic desires are fulfilled. What next will you do in life? I honestly think I will continue doing the same thing. I love what I do. I'm very grateful that I have the opportunity to teach, even though it's not teaching in the traditional way in college, but I'm still teaching and I've always wanted to teach. So I'm very happy that I get to do that. I'm happy that I get to write about what I want for a living instead of only freelancing. And I mean, I'm very, very, very grateful to do what I do. I think even if all my materialistic desires are fulfilled, I'd 100% do the same thing because it brings me so much joy. Harjot has asked me three questions. First is, how to remove the fear of losing audience on any social media platform. If the content you think is good but you still have fear that it will result in losing your audience, I have never had a fear of losing audience. I mean, overthinking is my second side hustle, but I don't overthink on this level. Second is how to deal with people that you they just want your time, and the rest of the time they're least bothered. And you say that we cannot ignore them as well. Harjot, why not? I would 100% ignore this person, and I already do. Third is how to deal with family friends after one has decided to post or make content but is having second of what will people say. I think people will talk anyway, so you might as well feed them something damn good to talk about. Akriti asks how to pick a niche and consistently post about it without running out of ideas. Akriti, I think most of the problems get solved when you start writing, because once you're in momentum, it's difficult to get out of it. So my question to you is, are you writing enough? Because when you're writing enough, and regardless of what niche you're writing in, chances are you're also reading and researching. So if you're already in momentum, you'll never run out of ideas. Kashish, hi Kashish, by the way, Kashish is a friend. Which one was more challenging, creating your first 8 articles or your first 8 videos? Definitely my first 8 articles, I think, because when I'm creating these videos, I still have somebody editing them for me, who is Arpit. Thank you so much, Arpit. And yeah, but articles are also more time consuming. I only take about 30 minutes to record a video, whereas the process of an article start to finish is still anywhere between 1.5 to 3 hours. Divyanshi asks, what are your plans in terms of business? What do you want it to look like 5 years down the line? Divyanshi, 5 years is a really long time. I don't even know what will business look like a year down the line. And even a year ago, I never knew business will come to this extent that it has today. If you told me a year ago that I'm going to have these digital products which hundreds of people across the world will buy, I would not believe it. But it's still happening. So I don't have an answer to it. I have an answer as to how I want my life to look like, which is that I want to continue owning my time as I do right now, because owning my time has been a dream. And now that I can, I feel very grateful, and keep doing things that I like. And what that looks in terms of business, I'm not too sure, but I want to continue solving more problems. And I hope that vaguely answers your question. Jack asks, what is your ultimate goal in life? I just want to be healthy, spend time with family, and own my time. So, yeah. And if you ask me, but don't you want to make money? So, owning my time comes as a result of having enough money. So, there's that. Chandru Kiran asks, what is something that you've tried recently but failed at? Um, what did I recently fail at? I think something that I tried recently was to have affiliate deals with somebody I look up to, and it did not work out. And I thought that it will, but it didn't. So, yeah, that was like a mutually beneficial opportunity that didn't work out. And I'm not sure why, but it's fine. Also, do you foresee any writing platform that is still new but could become as huge as Medium? Probably LinkedIn, but Medium is like YouTube for writers because it pays you. I'm not sure if there's any other writing platform that will pay you. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce this. So at the rate PVTBELL. Do you have any tips to stay disciplined while working from home? I'm struggling with this and procrastinating. Have a routine, and finish your difficult tasks first so that you're mentally and obviously work-wise at ease later during the day. I hope that helps. Sunny Samantha asks, what would you do if you could time travel? I think I want to just go back to my solo traveling days at 21, because, yeah, 5 years ago, life was obviously I had much lesser responsibilities because I was a student, but I would want to time travel to all my travels actually, because traveling is fun and I can't wait to travel again already. Ronak Deshpande asked, how to grow followers on Twitter like you? By tweeting 10 times a day until you have 100 followers, and 8 times a day until you have like 4,000 followers or 5,000 followers, and then yeah, 6 7 times a day after that. But just by like tweeting enough, but that's only half the work. The other half is engaging enough, and also make your tweets valuable. I'm not a very huge fan of shit posting, and I mute everyone who I see shit posting on my feed. Sometimes you don't follow people, but they show up anyway, so I just mute them. So yes, that's how you create an audience. Aviraj Khare asks, what is the one piece of advice you will give to anyone? Oh my god, this is such a difficult one. I wish I prepared my answers, because this is making me think of so many things. I think the one, okay, yeah, now I have something in my mind. I think I have something in my mind. Okay, so I think the one piece of advice that I would give everyone, and I'm only saying this because I think very few people actually think about this, and I don't know why, because it's a fact, and I wish more people did, is please know at every waking point of your day that your time is finite. I mean, imagine if we thought of it every time. We would not be unproductive. We would not scroll endlessly on our phones. We would not do things that don't make us feel alive. And in fact, we make our time to do things that make us feel alive. But so many people don't do it, and people treat time as if we have all the time in the world. But I wish people could get a daily reminder that you will die one day. And that's not my opinion, and I'm not dark, but it's a fact, and your time is finite, because I think of this multiple times a day and it makes me function differently. So I hope that helps. I think I got a bit too serious there, but Lipsy Ja asks how to make a best course and deliver for people on a subject you're an expert on. Please throw some light on marketing as well. And happy Diwali. Happy Diwali to you as well. How to make a course is first you have to find, is there a problem that you can give a solution with, and if you have authority in that subject and some credibility. So when I teach consistent writing, it only happened because I saw that it's a problem with digital writers, and then I conducted a free cohort where I shared everything that I know, and it worked. So then I also got that social proof, and that's how Summit 21 is what it has been. And about marketing, I actually do not market because I don't have a big course that I'm trying to scale. I take very few people at a time, and I guess I'm grateful that people have seen other people talking about it, and they've seen results, and they've seen me grow, which is why they come in. So I think building in public is a big thing, and it's really helpful. Dharmesh Pasapati asks, what are you going to upload on YouTube in future, and what are your plans for this video platform? I think I will tell you when I know, because I'm just experimenting. I'm just having fun. LinkedIn looks settled, Twitter looks settled, Medium looks settled. I just really want to grow something from zero and take another challenge. And I've also heard that YouTube is very rewarding long term. So I kind of want to give it 2 years, but let's see how it goes. Jareen, hi Jareen, long time. Jareen asks, how do you crush the self doubts and also stop comparing yourself to other creators out there? So I think self doubts keep coming in every now and then, but I know it's just a human mechanism, because since our ancestors' time, our mind functions in a way to keep us secure, right? Like since hunters and gatherers' time, it's our intuition that we relied on to be safe. So anything which is not comfortable, the your inner voice will automatically tell you not go for it. But today, that not going for it is not as relevant, and especially in like the situation that we're talking about. So whenever I have self-doubt, I recognize that it's just my mind trying to keep me safe, but it's not the reality. Now I can talk about it comfortably, but it wasn't easy in the beginning because I always doubted myself. But then I had my mentor who told me that you are just overthinking and stop overthinking. Also, I think realizing that thoughts are just thoughts and they're not the reality helps. So yeah, that objectivity definitely helps you get out of that rut. Secondly, how to stop comparing yourself to other creators out there. I think I am very secure in my creator journey right since the beginning. And that's not because I think I'm really good or I was sure that I'll grow, but I've been really happy writing, and I've been extremely happy doing what I do. Yeah, even when I see people doing really well, I feel happy for them, and then I also learn from them. Yeah, I don't really compare. It just hasn't happened, and I think it's your question that made me realize that this is the reason I probably don't compare. Trish asks, what or who helped you create your first product? Nobody. I created it myself with the help of my audience, obviously, because I was seeing. So when I create a product, I always see the pulse of what problems people are facing, and Twitter conversations are a great way to go about it, because the writing community is so huge. So you sort of get a gist of what issues you can solve for. And what did that process look like? Okay, so my first product was a side hustle ebook, and I had over 50 articles or over 30 articles on side hustles, and then I just took 13 of them and created it into an ebook. And why I did that was because people, once I started writing on Medium about side hustling, a lot of people questioned me a lot about it. So then I just created that into a product, and because it was pretty easy to do, it was a copy paste. Harjot asked, how did you face the camera fear and how you stopped giving a shit about what others will say of you if you make videos? I want to do the same, but I can't gather the courage. Harjot, I think people will shit on you anyway. So there's no point trying to solve for that because I feel that will happen anyway. And about the camera fear, I mean, I'm still really awkward. There's nobody in my room right now, and I'm looking at the backside of my phone, and it's damn weird. Like, I know I'm an introvert, and I'm very open about the fact that I'm an introvert, but I don't think I'm an introvert at this level that I'm very comfortable talking at the camera without even looking at myself. So I'm still learning how to be comfortable, but with my experience, what I've seen is that to be comfortable and to be good at anything is by doing it enough. So that's why I'm just going to make enough videos till I feel comfortable. And yeah, why do you care about what people will say? And I think maybe I have that mentality because I've been trolled enough. So now what will people say doesn't really bother me. Tanvi asks, how do you manage to be consistent on your worst days or on your busiest days? What's your driving force, especially when you don't feel like working but have to? I haven't not worked when I don't have to because I work Monday to Fridays just like any other job, and I'm okay working Monday to Fridays. And sometimes I don't feel like working, which is usually because there is some plan for the day. For instance, right now my relatives are here from abroad, and we went out somewhere yesterday, and I didn't really work yesterday, and that was fine because I covered up for it today. So that hasn't been a problem yet, and I just think I quit my job for a really strong mission, which is that I want to try my best to help people live healthier and happier. So, my big why, my mission is so strong that I kind of feel like I have a responsibility to show up. And that comes from within, that comes out of love. I don't have to push myself for it. And how do I manage to be consistent on the worst days is just by showing up. I don't give myself that floor to think and analyze and then decide if I want to show up or not. I just show up for my work. Brent says, hi Niharika, you said once nobody can beat someone who shows up consistently. I'd love to hear you expand on it. Why is consistency so powerful? Brent, so I think there are several reasons to it. The first is that you get better when you're consistent. So quantity ends up breeding quality over a duration of time. The second thing is the algorithms will only support you if you're consistent. So if you're going to show up once a month, then that's probably not going to work out. But if you show up at least once a week, that's going to help. And third is whether it's writing or making videos, all of these are skills, right? Like doing math or learning a guitar. These skills get better when you keep practicing them. So, hence, showing up consistently helps. And I feel when it comes to talent versus skill, if you're talented but you're not even practicing your talent often, I'm not sure how that's going to work out. But if somebody makes sure that they show up at a particular time on a particular day or like whatever their frequency is, I can 100% bet that they're going to be unbeatable as long as they keep improving with the process. Arpit, by the way, this is Arpit who edits my video. He's really cool. Go and say hi to him. Arpit asks, how do you get better at writing? I know the write daily thing, but what else? I don't advocate writing every day because it's difficult to write every day, and it's difficult when you have to write every day. So I would say write frequently, but you decide the days. How to get better at writing is by practicing it enough and also by learning about storytelling and by observing other people's writing. So when you read something, ask yourself, why are you reading it? What's exciting? What's intriguing? And use those elements in your story. Rakshanda asks how to get into daily habit of writing and how to get ideas to write consistently. The answer to both of them is the same, by writing. I think a lot of people ask how to do XYZ, but the answer to it is usually by doing XYZ, and there's kind of no magic formula around it. And I know this is the unsexy advice that nobody wants to hear, but it is the truth. Jim asks, and by the way, Jim is like one of my favorite friends from Twitter, so go say hi to him. And he asked, what is your LinkedIn post schedule? So LinkedIn India advised us, because I'm a part of the LinkedIn Creators Program, to post at least thrice a week. But now that I'm also like talking about these video twice, and I don't want to like make two out of three posts promotional. I'm going to be writing about 4 times a week. So yeah, so that's my post schedule, to post 4 to 5 times a week. My LinkedIn process is quite ad hoc. I don't plan things, but now I am beginning to, because I have 2 videos to talk about, and I think every Sunday I'm going to put out a quote and see how that works. Paramveer Deol asks, looking retrospectively, which books helped you in your journey and how? I honestly want to do an entire video about it, so I kind of don't feel like answering it. So how about I don't answer how, but I tell you what books? I would advise Unlimited Power by Tony Robbins. That's like the single biggest transformational book I've read. The Practice, Shipping Creative Work by Seth Godin, and The Minimalist Entrepreneur by Sahil Lavengya. I also really like Ryan Holiday's series, which is um, wait, what is the series? Hold on. Ego is enemy. Ego is enemy. Stillness is the key. Obstacle is the way. So yeah, I will do a video on this. Saksham Gulati asks, which kind of businesses or people do you work with usually? PS, the type of businesses are mostly from India or abroad. So I'm sorry if you can hear the traffic, but I kind of cannot help it. If it's about my students come from all across the world. So when we have a class of 15, we have people from anywhere between 6 to 10 countries. And when I do client work, which is very rare, I have worked with clients from across the world, right from like Australia to Singapore to America, UAE, a lot of places. And yeah, it's not that I only focus on abroad clients. I also have really good Indian clients. So I work with them whenever they need me. But I do really little client work, probably like 2 hours a month or something. I just take up one project once in a while, and most of them come from existing clients who have some new tasks to be done. Rakshanda asks how to manage if you're upskilling, managing client work, and doing content creation for yourself. If you're in college and if you have a full-time job, I would say to just pick and choose one task at a time and do that, and also divide it with your break. So maybe before work, after work, and if you have like time in the middle of work, then like probably shoot a LinkedIn post that time. So I hope that helps. Himanshi, and she's also a Twitter friend. So hi Himanshi. Asks, how is the experience like to be a content creator being an introvert? Oh, it's so lovely. I mean, oh God, look at me being so at ease with such a lovely question. I'm so glad that I get to sit here every single day and not meet anyone, and not have Zoom calls. I rarely do Zoom calls. It's beautiful because I think I'm doing work that completely aligns with who I am as a person. So it's amazing. I wouldn't have it any other way. And yeah, it's brilliant. It's beautiful. I think you can see it with how much I'm smiling, that how happy I am about it. And the last question is, when did you actually start writing professionally? How much were you prepared for it at the time, and how are you doing it right now? I started writing professionally, which we could say like say freelancing, in 2020. I wasn't prepared, obviously not. I just did it as an experiment because I do everything as an experiment. And how am I doing it right now? Now I hardly freelance, but I'm writing for myself. So I guess you as my audience get to decide how am I doing it right now, because my me evaluating my own writing would be a very biased answer. Thank you for everyone who asked me all these questions, and the questions I could not answer. I hope we can do this again sometime. And this was a lot of fun, and I'm very happy with the quality of questions that came in. And if you watched it this far, thank you so much for watching. And please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm still growing and I'm still giving it my best. And your like, subscribe, and comments would really encourage me to just give it my 100% and continue giving it even on the days that I don't feel like. Thank you.